Alrighty, hello and welcome back to the channel. Just a quick down and super duper dirty barn door build. Very pressed for time on this build out. We got notification that we needed these the next day, and it was already, I think, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, so did the simplest build ever. I would have liked to take a little bit more time and maybe do some sanding on the lumber and do some joinery, just tongue and groove. I do have the bits for that on a router, but again, very pressed for time. And the GC I was doing this for just said, get it done. We got to be at the client at 7:30 in the morning and install these. Um, so the client did have a funky kind of spacing. You'll see a photo at the end of the video on the doors. So the wall was too small to do a single door, and the doorway was, a 38, I think 40 inches, something like that. So we did a split barn door style. Only issue with that is we couldn't purchase any. They were all oversized on the rail portion because the wall is actually smaller than what you would want for a split barn door. So we ended up buying a cheap barn door rail kit from Lowe's that was on sale. They were, I think, $60 for a single door kit, and even came with the soft closed feature. And I built the doors to match the opening plus the trim reveal each side. Forgive me, I don't remember the exact measurements. I want to say it was around 41 inches, maybe 40 inches and a half altogether, and each door was just under 21 inches, or just around 20 inches. So this is me just using Craig jigs and some glue to put the picture frame uh, look there. Um, if you are in the market for a Craig jig or have the Craig jig with just the clamp on it, I would recommend upgrading to, I think this is the Craig jig 590 that I'm using. I got it as a Christmas present. Actually, I wanted it, and my parents got it for me. But anyways, if you're doing repeat jigs and it's just this super simple for the clamp feature, and it's got the little extended trays on the side for storage, but also to support the material. I really have to build a bench. Hey, is my daughter and her neighbor friend. So anyways, I am just simple. Like I said, bought this lumber actually is from Lowe's. It's just already 4S. I recommend at our Lowe's, don't get the lumber that's up on the rack, that's a vertical. Almost all of that is, bowed or twisted or beaten up. Our Lowe's actually has large racks that lay flat underneath those, and you can pull them out, and they keep a large amount of stock under there. And my experience is that lumber is far more straight, and actually, it's just not beaten up. People abuse the stuff on the vertical portion. So I did spend some time. I picked really good lumber. It is straight. I knew I'd be putting this together this night. Literally bought this. The GC dropped it off because I don't have a truck to transport it, and I think I started this just after 5 o'clock and just finished it in maybe an hour and a half. You'll see it's not even dark by the time I'm done. I am watching Belts and Boxes on the phone. If you look in the corner above all the soil that my wife has, if you're not a member on Belts and Boxers, I would recommend you do that. Just a great group of people, super fun community. Every Monday, we're on a call where we're supposed to pick the shows for their Friday release, but we end up just really having a blast and kind of just shooting the ish with everybody. Again, there's 4 doors because you will see there's 2 closets. It's a his and hers closet. 4 doors total, but either it's 2 doors per opening. And again, just top rail, bottom rail, those are cut to the same width. I didn't film any of the cutting just because, again, time sensitive build. And you've seen people cut wood before, so this is just more of the process and how simple these were. These have been up in the home now for a few weeks. We did have a little bit of the door settling and climatizing to the home. I don't remember what type of wood this is. It's the cheaper wood that Lowe's has. That's 4S, which is 4-sided finish. But so we did have a little bit where the doors moved a little, and there's a gap between them. All I did there was take them back down after they settled, and I increased one of the holes on one of the sides of the door where the rail gets attached. Again, apologize, I don't have where I mounted the rails. I don't have any of that. The homeowner did not want me filming, and we, again, had to do this very quickly because this had kind of dragged on, and the GC was trying to find a solution to fit and just couldn't find one, and especially not one that we could get in the time frame that the homeowner wanted because they were going out of town. So 4 panels, just the center portions have the Kreg holes. I'm using Kreg jig screws, and then I'm gluing those. The panels, you'll see I'll start putting those on. I ended up getting the it's 4-inch lumber, but it's 3.5 actual, and then I also got the 2-inch wide. So what I do is, to get the size, at this point I didn't have a table saw or any saw to be able to rip anything, so it worked out perfectly to where I added 2-inch portions on either side, and then added in the 4-inch pieces in the center, which gave me, there's a 4-inch front as well for the picture frame look, which gave me a good overlap on this panel to the strips that were on the back portion of the door. I did gap a little bit on the hidden portion just to allow for expansion and contraction should it move. But again, this is inside a house, super well insulated home. They keep it pretty controlled in there. So the door should not move very much. They are also being painted. A couple coats of primer were on there, and then the painter came by and did a couple coats of just a white interior paint. I don't know what paint he used or anything like that, but here what I did was I did glue. I put a little glue on the sides, but mostly the glue was on the top, center, and bottom rails, and then I just simply 18 gauge nailed it to the actual face boards. I'm using a DeWalt nailer, and again, the boards are all cut to length already. I didn't have to do anything with that. They're 83 inches high, 83.5 actually, and then just put couple brads per board in the bottom, in the middle, and at the top. And again, didn't want to secure it too bad, just to allow for movement should it happen. And I apologize there. I think I was actually trying to show the front of the door to the camera, and I just didn't realize that I put the camera facing downward so you could see the board of the doors being put together. And then this process just continues for all 4 of the doors. Pretty simple. Again, there's that 2-inch piece going down, a couple of nails going in just to hold it, line up the tops, bottoms, and then just super simple. I can't tell you how simple it was to build these barn doors. And again, I did check a couple, maybe a week ago, on the doors, and the only adjustment was in the center of them. They had tweaked a little bit I think the guy also messed my rails up too. So he had gone into paint, and I think he had undone some stuff to get the paint on the board that ran across the top rail that actually held the sliders, and got my rails out of alignment. My only pet peeve with the rails that I got from Lowe's, they were the cheaper ones, I think $56 or something like that before tax. They were two-piece rails. I prefer single piece, so it's a lot easier to get the good level alignment, and also easier to install a single piece rail rather than those two pieces where you got to put that bolt in the center to it's a lag bolt that goes in, holds the two pieces together. It's just not my preferred style of rail. Let me know if there are any questions on this. Again, I did this, I think it's almost dark outside now, and I did these in maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes tops, and that's with cutting them. I went ahead and did a single piece and then cut all my lumber at one time, just so I could kind of assembly line put it together. Quick little view of the finished door. Like I said, a little bit of gap in there. That's just with the primer, not final color. And there's that top rail a little bit. Thanks.